Today we're going to be predicting the starting 11 for every IPL team, and we're going to start off with my favorite, the Mumbai Indians, the defending champions. First on the list, Evan Lewis, great acquire off the auction. Next is going to be Ikson, another young player, very talented Indian. Rohit Sharma, our captain. It'll be Krunal Pandya coming in at 4, where he played last year as well. Surya Kumar Yadav at 5. Kieron Pollard, our overseas batsman and overseas all-rounder, one of the best fielders in the game. Hardik Pandya. Ben Cutting will be our third overseas player and overseas all-rounder. Rahul Chahar, the young spinner. Fast bowler will have Pat Cummins or Mustafizur Rahman, whoever Rohit Sharma seems fit for the job. And I personally think it'll be Pat Cummins who will get the job done for Mumbai. And then our all-star, Jasprit Bumrah. There's a lot of great teams in the IPL this year. I think one of the most solid teams in terms of bowling, fielding, batting is Rajasthan Royals, and I'm going to predict their team. First off, we have Rahul Tripathi. Excellent for Pune last year. Excellent strike rate, excellent average. We have Ajinkya Rahane, who's now the captain of the Rajasthan Royals over Steve Smith. We have Sanju Samson, and then it's yet to be seen if Steve Smith actually does play. But if he does, he'll come in at 4 as our first overseas player for Rajasthan Royals. Then we have Ben Stokes, great all-rounder, did extremely well for Pune last year. Josh Butler, who did very well for my Mumbai Indians last year. And then Jofra Archer, who's done extremely well in the Big Bash. And then we have, for our bowling department, we have Anureet Singh, who did extremely well for Kings 11. I think he'll do well for the Rajasthan Royals if they select him for the starting 11. We have Jaydev Unadkat, who they paid big money for during this auction, and Shreyas Gopal, and then Krishnappa Gautam will be my last bowler for the Rajasthan Royals. Next, we have the team that always seems to make it to the finals, the Whistle Podu, the Chennai Super Kings. And this is one of the teams that I had a very hard time selecting the starting 11 for, in main reason because they have lots of depth, especially at the batting unit. And my starting 11 will be Murali Vijay at the top, aggressor, very good batsman. I think he's very underrated. He's not appreciated as much as he should be. Shane Watson will be our opener. Did very well for Rajasthan Royals. Had a down season with RCB, but it's okay. I think he'll do very well for Chennai Super Kings. Suresh Raina, one of the best IPL batsmen of all time. Ambati Rayudu, who did very well for Mumbai for a long period of time. I think he's been one of the most consistent batsmen, one of the most overlooked batsmen of the IPL era. Next will come in Faf du Plessis. I think he's one of the strong South African batsmen. He has done well for Chennai before. I think he will continue to do well for Chennai. He'll be our second overseas player next to Shane Watson. Next we have MS Dhoni, and he's obviously our captain. Next we have Dwayne Bravo, one of the most excellent fielders of the IPL era. I think he's one of the most excellent fielders in general in international cricket. This West Indian has done extremely well for Chennai, and I think he'll continue to do well. I didn't get to see him play for Gujarat much. I don't think he played at all, but it's okay. He did extremely well. Next we have Ravindra Jadeja, also one of the finest retainees for Chennai this year. I think he'll continue to do well for them. We have I actually had a hard time deciding between Harbhajan Singh, Bajji, who was in Mumbai, and then Karan Sharma, who they paid, I think, 5 crores for. I think that is a lot of money, and they have to give him some playing time, if not all the playing time, as their spinner on the side. We then have Shardul Thakur, who had done pretty well for India, but he has a long way to go. I think he'll prove it with Chennai. I wish the best for him. Next, we have our 4th overseas player, which I could have selected, and it'll be our fast bowler, and it's between Lungi and Giri from South Africa and Mark Wood. And I think they might be inclined to playing Mark Wood. However, considering the series against India that Lungi and Giri had, I wouldn't be shocked to see Chennai select him.